There's two things that are going to be discussed in this video, but I need to get the first thing out of the way here. This is a Facebook status that a friend of mine screenshotted and posted to her pro-life page. And I couldn't help but share it. And this should piss anybody off who has any lick of common sense, or any common sense and decency at that. Anyway, strap yourselves in, because this is a fucking crazy person. Quote, "I'm not a feminist either. And I'm also pro-choice. Actually, I'm more pro-abortion than I am pro-choice. Society would benefit more from people having abortions. We have too many welfare leeches already. There is no need for someone to have a child unless they're 100% ready to support it financially and emotionally. I mean, look at all the ghettos out there. Look at all the single mothers with multiple children and multiple baby daddies on welfare and food stamps. Look at the kind of kids they raise, thugs and criminals. I'm not against digenic reproduction. Eugenics is a good thing." Unquote. This is obviously the most bigoted and fascist thing I've seen on Facebook in a long time. Let's break this down. Fine, you're pro-choice. I'm pro-life. Okay? I'm pro-life. You're pro-choice. That doesn't matter. That particular label does not matter. However, what I do have a problem with is when you say society would benefit from more people having abortions. Why? Because you use the stereotype that we have too many welfare leeches already? I'm sorry, ma'am, but have you looked at the U.S. economy? Even people that are against being dependent on government subsidies also benefit from government subsidies every now and then. You know, because it's hard in this economy to, get by with a full-time or part-time job that pays a shitty salary. It's hard to get by. So it's not people that are having children that are struggling. It's also people without children too. So to say that there's too many welfare leeches and it's the people having children, that's a stereotype. But look, no one's arguing against you that no one should have a child unless they're 100% ready to support financially and emotionally. No one's disagreeing with you. That's the intention most people have when they decide to have children. But sometimes accidents happen and children are born from premarital, I can't speak, premarital sex. So should that child just be aborted? No. They shouldn't. They should be able to be born, and they should be able to be, have the right to life. But anyway, look at all the single mothers with multiple children, multiple baby daddies. Okay, so you're referring to black people. You're not referring to white people, you're referring to black people. So you're assuming that all black single mothers have multiple baby daddies and are abusing welfare and food stamps. Not the case. Not the case at all. And also, why are you saying that they have multiple children? Are you saying that they have like 12 children? Are you saying that they have like a raft load of children and that they're abusing the system? Is that where you're coming from? And look at the children they raise. Thugs like, lady, you sound like a lot like Margaret Sanger here. If you don't know who Margaret Sanger is the founder of Planned Parenthood. And, Margaret Sanger sympathized with Hitler. She was pro-Holocaust. That's bad enough. But to add insult to injury, she also thought the black population in the United States needed to be kept down through abortion because the white people were superior over black people. This is Margaret Sanger, the liberals' Planned Parenthood leader. This is their icon. She thought that black people were inferior to white people, so therefore, through abortions, we would be able to keep their population down. And so therefore, the rhetoric by the Democratic Party ever since then is black communities should get more abortions. And when she uses, oh, look at the children they raise, thugs are criminals. Anybody could be a thug or criminal. You don't have to come from a poor background or a minority background in order to be a thug or criminal. Bernie Madoff is a criminal, and he came from a very wealthy background. People at Wall Street, most of them came from an either middle class or very wealthy background, and they're fucking criminals. But to say that all poor kids are thugs and criminals is racist and fucking stupid. No, they're not all thugs and criminals. Most of these poor kids work their asses to the middle class or even higher, and they give back to their communities. Ice Cube, Ice-T, LeBron James. It's not just black athletes, it's also white athletes too, that come from these ghettos that she's demonizing here. White athletes too, that come from ghettos and are quote-unquote thugs and crimp. They work their asses off to get out of there. They work their asses off to get out of these situations. And you have the goal to say that the kind of children they raise are thugs and criminals? Give me a fucking break. This is the new Margaret Sanger, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't matter what this person's political standing is. I don't care. This person's a bigot and a fascist. She's demanding that society should get more mandatory abortions. I disagree fundamentally. Abortion is a hard choice for a woman to make. Some women choose to get them, some women choose not to get them, and some women, unfortunately, with the medical situation that they might have no choice but to get one, because they could die from childbirth. And it's a very hard choice. It's a very intimate and hard choice to make, especially if it's a child you conceived with your spouse. It's a very hard decision to make, especially a hard decision for the couple to agree upon. And you have the goal to say that society needs more abortions? Lady, I support your right to say this shit. I support your right to say this shit. But I fundamentally disagree with you. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is people are identifying the Charlottesville, West Virginia neo-Nazis that partook in the fascist rally, and they're losing their jobs. Okay, good. you know, they should be losing their jobs because what they did is awful. However, why should it be only them that lose their jobs? This is the double standard of the regressive left that I cannot understand here. Is that the regressive left is cricketing Antifa and Black Lives Matter when they riot. They don't say anything when they riot, but if white nationalists riot, they freak out, and rightfully so. Everybody did. But people in the center, libertarians are on the right, freak out also when Antifa and Black Lives Matter riot. And the left is cricketed on that. They're silent. They're silent on that. Look, if you participate in a riot and you harm people or you do something like that, or if it turns violent, look, I don't care if it's a rally. I don't think anybody should be fired if they go to a rally. No, that's their right to go to a rally. Especially if you disagree with what the person at the rally is saying. People have the right to attend that rally. But a riot, on the other hand, is a completely different ballpark. That's when shit gets out of control. But the thing is, though, shouldn't members of Black Lives Matter or Antifa also lose their jobs if they start rioting and causing violence or harming people? Yeah, they should. You can't pick and choose which groups get off scot-free with rioting. You can't pick and choose that. Look, free speech has its consequences, and when things turn into riots, yeah, people will lose their jobs. So I think it's only fair that it's not only the neo-Nazis that lose their jobs, but I think it's fair if also members of Black Lives Matter and Antifa also lose their jobs that start riots and harm people. I think that's fair because there's been too much shit between the regressive left and now the neo-Nazis that people have to start learning that freedom of speech has consequences. But at the same time, though, you can't say that they don't have the right to say this shit. They do. They do have the right to say this shit. That's how freedom of speech works. You don't say, well, I disagree with you, so therefore you don't have freedom of speech. No, they have freedom of speech. You can fundamentally disagree with it, and I fundamentally disagree with them. But, freedom of speech has consequences, and sometimes it results in loss of a job. But, and another but, the regressive left should not get off scot-free because Antifa and Black Lives Matter have also harmed people and incited riots. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you next time.